Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The postseason rolls on with the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl. It's the BYU Cougars and the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Reese Davis, David Pollock, Jesse Palmer here in the booth. Holly Rowe is down on the sidelines, and we check in with her right now.
Thanks, guys. Checking in with BYU's head coach. In the locker room, he's telling his team before the game, this is the beginning of next year. They are a little disappointed they didn't make it to the college football playoff, but they want to use these extra 15 practices, this full game opportunity, as a starting point for next season. The next season starts today. That's the message as they take the field. Guys?
Okay, Holly. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. He'll be stopped just short of the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24, and good work by the coverage unit. From the gun, it's Martin. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The give to the back. All over him immediately. This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's third and short. To throw, it's Bachmeier. Out wide right, it's Bachmeier. A solid pickup there, works it to the 38 before being pushed out of bounds. BYU with the 1st and 10. The give on the counter. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play.
And David, we know when you're playing on the road how important it is to try and steal momentum early and quiet the crowd. You gash the defense with a run like that to pick up a big first down, that'll do it. And that's really a tone setter, I think, for this offense. And you're sending a direct message to the opponent. We are going to be physical, and we're going to try to run this thing down your throat.
Yeah, and they got a chance to respond. And the crowd hopefully can get behind them and get back in it. The defense has got to do a better job. We got to stop the run. They got to tackle, get more hats to the football. This will be a challenge. They're going to run the football. They better be man enough to stop.
Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. The Cougars pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Quick give. It's Martin. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Motion from the wide receiver. They think there's room to run to the right here. Productive 4-yard gain there on the ground as he gets it down to the 31. Ball at the 31, third and short coming. Defense trying to rise up. Looking to throw. Back's got it on the screen. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down. Fires to the right. Good route on the comeback, and he makes the catch. Guided out of bounds at the 22. Good. For this offense as they are threatening to score. And the Cougars come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. Cuts it upfield. It's Martin. Knocked down, but not before he crossed into the red zone and picked up 4 yards down to the 17. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Run in the red zone. It's Martin. They get him on the ground, but not before he drives it to the 10-yard line.
And talking to the OC this week, getting this running back going was step number 1. It was priority number 1. He said it makes the whole offense go. Like, he is the bell cow. He is the guy. This offense doing exactly what they set out to do on this first drive.
And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Running inside, it's Martin. And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Cougar!
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, making offense easy, being physical, and really setting the tone for this football game.
And he made the extra point without problem. From inside his own 15, looking for a crevice. He'll be stopped on the return right at the 30-yard line and helps out this offense a few extra yards of field position. The Mountaineers offense will now get its first chance with the football. Hopefully we'll see a performance today like the one that this guy had last week when basically he just ran wild through the defense.
He made that defense look silly. Out in the open field, he was making people miss, breaking tackles, scoring touchdown after touchdown. And this offense has vowed to find new ways to get him the football. So we're going to see something else that we haven't seen before because of this guy's unique talent in this one.
Yeah, and the defense, all eyes on him. That will be the main focus. More guys in the box. I wonder if it opens up the play-action game and the perimeter throws and maybe some big plays through the air because they know he is the man, he is the guy, he is priority number 1.
Great job to separate the ball from the receiver there. After the incompletion, it's 2nd down. Corner's right up on that line of scrimmage. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. And the Mountaineers come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. And eventually taken down, but what about that spin move gives him the first down yardage. The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. Grabbed behind the line, it's Sanchez. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly. Wide receiver going in motion. Drops back, it's Singleton. Turns it upfield. Makes the grab and down immediately. He picks up a few.
And that was a really good job by the defense. Again, keeping everything in front of you in that situation. And now you're rewarded with the 3rd and long. So on this down, we'll see if they bring some pressure or if they lay back and play something.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Can't hang on after the hit, and it'll be 4th down. The Mountaineers will try to pin them back with the punt. Not a lot of room to field this one. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Breaks explosive play to start the drive, and they'll try to keep the D on its heels. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Martin.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Past the end of the quarter, and BYU is on top. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Dropping back, it's Bachmeier. Quickly out to the tight end. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Cougars come to the line with a new set of downs. Caught in the backfield, it's Bachmeier. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive. And
caught, and he's got room. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. The Cougars go back to work after moving the chains through the air. On the option. Didn't even get started. He'll be dropped for a loss of 3. Put themselves in a bit of a bind, but that last one is 2nd and 14. The give. Can't get him to the ground. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. Now, wait just a second here. I don't see the kicker coming out. I think they're going to go for it here. Going to audible here. Let's see what they do. Sends it back in motion. Snapped it, and he has to have it. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. And that decision will be questioned for a while. Off play action on 1st down. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. And the Mountaineers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Dropping back, it's Singleton. Rushes on, and he gets rid of it.
And as an offense, man, the last place you want to be is 3rd and long. And I think he's just got to put a little bit more mustard on that football. It comes up short, got to step into it, throw that maybe a little bit harder. But
that internal clock just didn't move fast enough, and they get him for a safety. They'll boot it away from their own 20 after taking the safety. Making his first move. Jukes his way for more. The Cougars offense takes the field to start this drive. Snaps it, they'll throw to start the drive. It's picked off. That's 18 of those this season.
That's why as quarterbacks you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Here comes the heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. They'll need a bunch on 2nd down. Quarterback keeper. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. Got to pick up a few to move the sticks here on 3rd down from their own 20. Tight end now in motion. They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Once you start to get down here towards the goal line, it's so much more difficult to throw the football. And you really want to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and use your speed and take advantage of the grass when you see it. They try to take a little bit of a shot down the field unsuccessfully. Nice job by this defense.
Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. The run inside. It's Martin. Got the 1st down. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. They came out humming on this drive, and now it's 1st down from the 36. They'll move the wide receiver. Play action on 1st down. Stepping to the right. He'll pull it down and run. And he scurries out of bounds and wisely avoids taking the big hit.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to fight another play. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. Looking downfield, it's Bachmeier. Out wide left, it's Bachmeier. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. This BYU offense set up with another 1st down. Straight ahead, it's Martin. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a 1st down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. They'll ride the hot hand. Drop immediately. He got nothing on 1st down.
Well, BYU was a team that made it to the Big 12 title game a year ago. A big part of it was L.J. Martin and their ability running the football, but also what he was able to do catching it as well. Bachmeier back at quarterback, so this offense really expects to take the next step. But L.J. Martin, David, probably one of the better running backs in the country that maybe a lot of college football fans outside of the Big 12 don't really know about.
Yeah, I mean, he could catch it, he could make you miss, he could run you over. Like, the injuries slowed him down a little bit a year ago. But another year of experience with Bear in the backfield, and that is a big Bear. That is a...
He's loose on the right. Almost took it all the way there, but it's a huge gain, and they're set up with a 1st and goal. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Motion from the back. He's looking to throw. He wants it all. Touchdown, BYU! Right on the money. He makes the grab in the end zone.
And the passing game paying dividends right now for this offense. They just had a big play through the air to get him down in a situation. So let the quarterback deal. Great job reading coverage. He found his open target. Accurate throw in 2 plays through the air, and they've got 6 points on the board.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Plenty of time to work. Not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Looking downfield, it's Singleton. Shoots it to the left. Pulls it in, it's Lewis. He's loose down the left side. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Mountaineers!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he's stopped right there. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Leaves it in his belly. Swapped immediately. It's amazing how a play by a defensive end in the backfield can really swing the momentum not only of a series but of a game sometimes.
All you're trying to do is create negative plays, to get them behind the sticks a little bit, to get those sacks, to get those tackles for losses. You see so much stunting in college football up front with the defensive line because you know once you get one of those plays, you got the offense right where you want it.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. Looks as if BYU will have to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Gonna field this one in tight quarters. They stop him immediately, flying down the field, and get to him before he can even get started. Fresh set of downs going up top. Throws to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's James. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37. The Mountaineers peeled off a huge chunk of yardage through the air and now back to the line. Looking for room. It's Lewis. There he goes. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
Hand off again. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. Now the offense wants to make sure everything's straightened out, and they call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. They probably feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. Right side, it's Sanchez. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. And the Mountaineers trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Got it! Into the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
And that was a really big score here at the end of the 1st half, just for their confidence and their momentum. They're obviously still losing right now on the scoreboard, but you had the feeling something positive had to happen here at the end of the 1st half for them to go in at halftime, regroup, and come out in the 2nd half now trying to build on that successful drive offensively.
On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Gets the back moving. Back to pass. It's Buckmeyer. Finds his big tight end. He stopped at the 40, but it'll be a 1st down here late in the half. Now the Cougars are going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Wants to throw on 1st. Looking to the big tight end. Wide open downfield. He's into the open down the middle. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, BYU!
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the 1st half.
He'll bring it back looking for help. Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? Hits inside. It's Lewis. He just threw his nose right into the middle of the pile and was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And they head to the locker room. 2 quarters in the books, and time for us now to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football studio with scores from around the country.
Reese, thanks. You put these 2 programs together given the seasons they had, and we figured we might get a notable 1st half in this New Mexico Bowl. It's hardly a secret what this team wants to do. They want to feed the beast, let him run it, and control the line of scrimmage. Ground and pound, and continue to add to this lead in the second half.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Coleman. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Appalachian State regains possession, and the Mountaineer offense headed to the field. And sort of an ugly first half, honestly, but the deficit's still manageable if they want to wrap up this season with a bowl win.
This is a team I know that takes a lot of pride, and I'm sure at halftime in the locker room, David, there was some shouting going on. They need to get themselves motivated and ready to go, because they're not out of this game.
Yeah, and when you get that shouting and you get the quarreling amongst each other, you get some motivation. You need something good to happen early. This first possession, get the football, go make something happen, create some momentum. And it's been a struggle for this young man. I mean, listen, he's a pretty good player, and they depend on him week in and week out to be their guy to carry the mail. Just, it's not working, and the run game hasn't found a rhythm. And I think that's why this offense, they need something. They need a spark. They need to find some way to run the football.
He'll try to do it himself. Quarterback gets the first down. They finally corral him, but he turns that into a big gain and a first down.
On the third play of the drive, third down, it's the scrambling ability of this quarterback that goes and picks up the first down. He was so calm back there. He never got flustered. Nobody open, no problem. If you give this guy 1 yard to run, he's going to tuck it and take off, and that's exactly what happened there.
Throws it off the RPO. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. They're all over him. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And that's a play on third down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give him a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it there.
Hunt is on its way. He'll try to make the catch in traffic. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. The BYU offense headed back out to go on the attack. Sells the run, wants to pass. Buying time to his right. Going right and going deep. Makes a grab for a big play. He's loose. Running free, going to the end zone, but way back behind him, there's a flag on the field. That celebration turn. Quickly after they saw that flag, and it wiped out the big play and the touchdown. And the rarely seen illegal forward pass penalty brings up second and long. Looking for a man, it's Bachmeier. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. And he will wisely scamper out of bounds. No need to take unnecessary hits. They come to the line, facing third and long from the 25. Wide receiver comes in motion. From the gun, it's Martin. He didn't make it. He's down at the 32, and that'll be 3 yards short of the line to gain and bring up fourth down. Looking for the fourth down conversion, BYU comes to the line. The fake and wants to throw. And he's brought down, but he picks up the first down, and the gamble pays off. And the Cougars come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Now on the counter. Driven back.
Great play by the defense there, getting the tackle for loss. But on offense, your mindset has to be, we need to be the more physical team here in the second half. We've got the lead, third quarter. We want to run the ball. We've got to have more success getting our blocks and moving forward if we're going to win this game.
They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure it to first down. BYU has this offense clicking. Looking for space. It's Martin. Nowhere to go.
And this D needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
Nothing to do with the football, and he just throws it away. It'll be third down.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throwaway.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking for a man. It's Bachmeier. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Pretty nice as a defense, right? When you can go.
Guys, look at this. They're going to gamble and go for it here on 4th and long. Snapped it, and he has to have it. Fires to the wideout. Left side is Casper. Dragged to the ground, but not before. He's converted a 4th down to keep the drive going. The Cougars, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. Drops back on 1st down. Dumps it to the back. Got his man. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on 1st down. The Cougars come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. Defense all over him.
But how fast did they get in there and make that tackle for a loss? If you blinked, you missed it. Nice job by the defense getting penetration. Everybody up near the line of scrimmage, shooting the gaps quick, getting in the backfield, getting the guy on the ground.
We're close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And this is going to be incomplete on third down.
Really nice.
Field goal unit's not coming out here, guys. I think they're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th and long. He's changing the play. Snapped on 4th down. A shot toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. Caught in the backfield, it's James. Breaks a tackle, and he might go. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. The Mountaineers have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. Quick give. It's Lewis. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the 1st down. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. To the air, it's Singleton. Out wide left, it's Villa. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. And the Mountaineers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Motion from the wideout. On his feet at the 40. Got a lot of room to the right. Touchdown, App State. They fought their way all the way back, and it's a one-possession game.
That is the easiest touchdown pass that guy is ever going to throw. The little touch pass, jet sweep, and how about the speed out in the open field? Man, David, quarterbacks love those. Those are stat builders.
And defensively, man, we've got to see that, and we've got to adjust. Safeties have to be able to come down and play that jet sweep. It's It's frustrating when you see him not adjust. And then, listen, you could see it, the wheels. I mean, that dude had some speed when he got around the corner, and nobody could catch him. But defensively, we got to see that a second sooner so we can come up and make a play.
And here's the return. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Working the ground game. Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23. We've reached the break. BYU is on top. We take a moment to look at the stats of what has been a tight ball game. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Might as well run him again. He'll be dragged to the ground, but it'll be a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, running back on the move. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up one to the 35. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Going with the counter play here. Enough to move the chains. Here's a little room there. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line. BYU coming to the line with 1st and 10. Right back to the well. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. This drive facing a little adversity on 2nd and 11. Looking to pass. It's Bachmeier. Look out! Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. And now let's see if the offense can bail itself out after the 2nd down misfire. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here.
Yeah, 3rd and long, everybody is pinning.
And, you know, it does look as if they're going to leave the offense out there. And I guess you look at time and score, you can kind of understand a field goal doesn't help you that much. Unloads to the wideout. Makes a catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. And the Cougars go back to work after moving the chains through the air. Motion from the wide receiver. Pickup of 8, it's now 2nd and 2. Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Running inside, it's Martin. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. One possession game, getting late here, and the winner will take a great feeling into the offseason. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. And he breaks the play. Touchdown, Cougars.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
And the extra point is good, and the lead is 9 here in the 4th. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Mountaineers offense coming onto the field. Giving up that last touchdown was an absolute killer. Now it's a 2-possession game. They must get something here. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. To the air. It's Singleton. Got there right as the ball did. Jarred it loose. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. On On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Out wide right, it's Lewis. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. This defense is trying to protect the lead. You have to make the offense work for it, and a personal foul just gives them yards. Wide receiver going in motion. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Lewis. Stopped in his tracks. He got nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10. Snap in the shotgun. Rush right in his face. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Left side, it's Villa. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the 1st down. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. Throws to the wideout. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. And he's brought down, but they believe the offense could convert the 4th down, and it paid off.
Well, you got to think here offensively that you may have 2 more possessions in this game. You can still win, but you've got to be aggressive. You've got to start taking shots.
Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49. Looking to throw, it's Singleton. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Right side, it's Villa. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. He's going to run it. That slides a little early and short, and now it's going to be 4th down. Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. Snapped it, and he has to have it. Oh, pressure's coming. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive. The give on the counter. Oh, he's got some space. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here. Here they come on 2nd down, trying to put this game away. Right back to the well. Looks as if BYU will have a 1st down. Timeout called here on defense, so they'll have a couple remaining in addition to the 2-minute stoppage to try to maximize time and get the football back. The offense getting set for a 1st down from the 45. The give as they work on that clock. Finding some room. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. So they'll use a timeout here. 1 more remaining, and of course the 2-minute stoppage coming up as well. BYU with the 1st and 10. Sells to run, looking to pass. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. They'll use a timeout on defense here. That's their final one. The clock stops just once more at the 2-minute mark. The Cougars trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Got some green grass. Lots of running room. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Cougars! 15-point lead, going for 2 here. If they get it, it'll be a 3-possession game. Sets his feet. It's Bachmeier. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Mountaineers offense to take the field and open this possession. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
And instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on fourth downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
Clock stops and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it go. Out wide left, it's Roberts. Brought down after the huge gain. Gets this offense set up at the 27. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
Pulls it in. He steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Big pickup on the ground, and they're rolling. On 1st and 10, trying to strike from the 15. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. From the red zone, looking for a space. Caught behind the line. It's Roberts. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible. And sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of him.
Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Gonna look downfield again. No choice but to get rid of it, and it'll be 4th down. All right, let me jump in here. They are going to go for it on 4th down, and I'm not sure they have much choice in this situation. They'll move the wide receiver. Needs it here on 4th down. Fires into the end zone. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. And they are stopped on 4th down. That decision will be questioned. The run inside. It's Martin. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. BYU right back to the line. They want to think this 3rd and 1 play over, and they'll use a timeout here. And they'll still have 2 timeouts left for the rest of this game. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things they're going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
It has been quite a season. Thanks for going on the ride with us on EA Sports College Football. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. We'll see you next season.